Good morning. Annette, I'm on it right now. Thank you, Ivan. Morning. No, not yet, Murray. Just a reminder, folks. Um, if you're not sharing something that you don't want everyone else to see, go ahead and change your chat from host and panelist to everyone, so everyone knows what's going on. Because I'll respond to it, and it sounds like I'm going crazy because no one else can see the question or whatever person said. Family's doing great. Thank you, Louie. Let's also make sure that the VIP went out. Right next, well, not at night, but during nap time, if we're on the couch, she's right there. Okay, Annette, no problem. Yep, there we go. All right, Annette, it's in there. Sorry, folks. Peter, was it in this chat or did you email it to me? No, I haven't seen it yet. Well, Spy is above the previous resistance. We'll see if it wants to keep going. It's been a pretty inside day so far, though. Can you quickly answer how to best use this kind of? Can you be more specific, Phil? Or send me an email or Roger an email? All right, folks. We'll be getting started in just a minute. Yep. I got all the telegrams posted. So, hey, Joy. Uh, don't forget your mic.
Yep.
Bob, send me an email.
Yep.
And you got to tell me which platform too.
Hey, Rochelle, haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're good.
Nice, Ange.
Let me put YouTube on and we'll get started. Good day. We got Debbie, Jody, JB, Colleen, Raj. Good afternoon, actually. It's good afternoon. Today's the only day of the week, Matt. I don't have a webinar.
Wow.
And it happens to be the slowest day of the week, which Murphy's Law never fails.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Let me say hello to everybody here. I don't want to be rude. We got James. We got Ange. Ange. Is that you, Angie, or is that Ange? Took 23% and 39. Good day for me. Yep. Good for you, Ange. Good for you. Good for you. Let me go ahead and.
I got it already.
Oh, thank you. We got
Yeah, Bob.
Rochelle. We got Murray. How are you, Murray? That was too funny.
There's my email.
I reposted that joke, Murray, on 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 Telegram. That was too funny. Hey, Graham. Good morning, Graham. How are you? We got Murray. We got Bob. How are you, Bob? That's 2 days in a row. Same tickers. Good for you. Hitting it hard, Ange. Thomas, North Carolina. Okay. Clyde, North Carolina. Okay. Hey, Jill. How are you? The bond market, Apple's recovering too a bit, which is great. We'll talk about all that in a second. Yeah, the bond market's recovering a little bit, but I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this at all. This is very bad. Good, Dave. Good. Happy to hear that. We got Dan. Dan is Dan is new. Welcome, Dan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is your family doing, Roger? My family's doing great, Bob. Thank you for asking. I actually appreciate it. I'm very excited because my son is moving in to this weekend to his new place, which is actually just down the street from here. And I'm going to go there tomorrow to visit it for the first time. He's going to be here for 7 months, and then he ships to Australia for vet school with his girlfriend, who's also going to be going to vet school. Who knew? And
They're
they've
both
been,
going to vet school?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
She just she's following his footsteps. The irony is, she may actually be smarter than him. She was the valedictorian of her class, but they've been together. They're each other's first girlfriend, boyfriend, and they're very, very happy. And if I had to bet, they're probably going to get married after they're done with school. But they've been together for almost 4 or 5 years now. They're like they're good together. She's a very smart girl. She's from Cuba. She's a Cuban girl. Her family lives in Miami, in Miami, and that's that. That's that. Adam says, "Hey, Roger took the trade from AM. Shop's been paying off partly to the downside, maybe overly tough. Yeah, Adam, just be careful. A lot of folks who bought Shop a few days ago, they're complaining that the option volatility is just drying up. It's doing that everywhere, folks. Think about this. Look, let me show you something. And this is going to be actually one of the topics we'll talk about in an indirect way, but I want to show you this. Look at this. And I told you yesterday that there's a chance this will happen. When you have volatility like this, or even like this is normal volatility. And you have volatility like this, and then you have a day like this, you're going to have a volatility crush. So you got to be really, 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 really cautious. One thing I'll tell you about, I'm kind of changing the topic right now. One thing I will tell you is um, that I'm a little surprised that the market, Matt, is holding up so well.
Hmm.
I actually feel like the market knows something. Thank you, Graham. I appreciate it. Thank you, Graham. I do appreciate it. We have a lot of Australian people here coming here, which is very, very nice, but so surprising, but it's terrific. We have a lot of global, about 30% of our members are global. So you could see right here, just look at the volatility on the SPY today. It's not much there. This is the big problem. And I like the fact that bonds are starting to come up a little bit, but the fact that the market was this stable with the bond market like this makes me feel like the market knows something. Because it sure as heck doesn't feel this is not normal. I also feel it's a pause. Now, remember, volatility works both ways. Volatility can now pick up to the upside or the downside. Volatility is not a directional factor, but I would be careful. Also, I would be very, very careful about a breakout here on the SPY. Again, I'm changing topics because there's a lot of resistance here, as you could see right there. We're getting later in the day. It's Friday, and you could see volume is coming off. And Vold is all over the place, literally all over the place. You could see here the advanced decline line is kind of coming up, going from 1300 to 700. Um, the tick is kind of shifting higher, but the gas pedal's coming up. So choppy, non-directional, no directional bias. If you look at all the sectors, you could see that you got a few things moving up, a few things, which is really good, but most sectors are random. So I would be very cautious taking trades to the upside today. I would be very, very cautious taking trades to the upside today. I am still bearish. I'm still bearish. We are still deep in Hurricane 4. Don't be fooled into thinking we are not, because we are. We are still in Hurricane 4 mode, and we may stay there for quite some time, as long as volatility. Now, if volatility subsides next couple of days, and we get a change in the sentiment, I'll move to Category 4. But the truth of the matter is, you'll see it. You'll see it right here. You see, it's at 42. It's got to go right here. It's got to go below all of this. When it gets below this, that's 3. Then when it gets to 20, that's 2. And when it gets to 18, I feel comfortable trading when VIX is below 30. I think 30 is fine. Now, just to show you how often it does this, how often is the VIX, Roger, how often is the VIX above 30? Never. It's like never. Like, okay, a year ago for like 2 days. You could see it doesn't happen very often. It doesn't happen very often. But I want you to have this perspective so you could see that since January 2023, VIX has gotten above this level twice, twice. And here it stayed there for 1 day or 2 days maybe. So the point is, it doesn't happen all the time. It happens very infrequently, right? It doesn't happen often. So don't be play, oh, that's it. The market is now high volatile. I can't trade anymore. It's all no. It's temporary. It's temporary. As soon as this Michigas is resolved, as this earthquake passes us by, this will all be over and the good times will roll again. But I'm watching out for you. Options are very expensive. I got several emails. Hey, Roger, I took this trade. It's going my way. But man, oh man, those option premiums are just decaying like there's no tomorrow. That's because volatility is shrinking today. Look at volatility today versus the last 4 days. Now, here's the bad part. Here's the bad part. Volatility is very little right here, right? But it's not going down. Notice every time volatility shrinks, it goes down. It's not going down, which means the market is waiting for something, which means it's still in Category 4. It's waiting for the next tropical storm to come. I want you guys to understand that, okay? If we were going down, if this was small, that would be fine too, because remember, it can go down too very quickly. It's not going down. It's just sitting there. This is so don't confuse. Do not confuse volatility going lower for volatility not going anywhere. Don't confuse the two. Just because the market's doing this right now, this playing this game right. Well, let me go to my TC 2000 here. Just because the market's doing this right now on an intraday basis, just because the market's not doing anything right now, doesn't mean the market hasn't been doing anything. Look at this movement and look at it right now. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. It's Friday. That's right. I agree with you, Chris. I do too. So my point is be cautious. Be cautious here. Be cautious. This is just a pause. We can come up and we can just as easily come down. And honestly, in my opinion, and I could be completely wrong, I don't see much happening today, especially after 2 o'clock. But I'm very nervous because volatility is not telling us we're done with this. Volatility is saying, just let's wait. We're waiting for part two. See, usually when VIX is like this, it drops fast. It's not dropping right now. It's not dropping. So I want to see this thing drop. I like the fact that it's low, but why isn't it dropping? That's a major issue. That's a major issue. So we got to be really careful here. I'll pay attention to tariffs play with China. Could take much longer than people think. China's the biggest country, does not get intimidated. No, not at all. Now, but we're used to this song and dance. By the way, Volt is exploding higher right now. Look at that. That's the other thing. Volt was very mixed, very choppy today. Yesterday, all day, just straight down. It's very choppy, very. So there's a lot of fear in the market. There's a lot of fear about the uncertainty. There's a huge amount of fear about uncertainty. But I wouldn't be getting, I wouldn't be getting all, I wouldn't be thinking that it's time to. The hurricane's not over, folks. It's taking a pause. We wait. We pause. We wait. We strategize. Kanaka, what does matter? What? Let me ask you a question. What does it matter what Microsoft is doing when we haven't figured out what the market's doing? Microsoft is just a slave to the market, right? So wouldn't it be more important for us to figure out what the market's doing instead of what Microsoft is doing? Usually the tail goes where the dog goes, not the other way around. Usually, not always, but usually. See my point, Kanaka? Market, market, market. Market first, market first, market first, market first, and then when you think you have it right, market first again. Because I could analyze Microsoft for the next 45 minutes for you, and my analysis will make zero difference if the market goes the wrong way. Capiche? And if you can't accept that, Kanaka, then you haven't been educated enough yet. All right. All right. Jeff says Rogers pointed out many times to watch the VWAP within the first candle range as being like chop day when we are right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. We this is not a big this also volume right now on the SPY is not all that high. Let's take a quick look.
Yeah, we're at 38%.
Yeah, yeah. Volume's not high. So to me, this is just like a let's see what happens kind of day. If volume was high, if ADD was positive, if tick was upticking to 1,000 more than once today, maybe, but yeah, yeah. Milan, after everything I just said to Kanaka, Milan says it's a time to buy long calls. Milan, have you heard the part about me saying how implied volatility via the VIX is at 40, how we're at a hurricane 4, how we're not out of the danger zone just yet? Have you heard any of that? Let me ask you guys. I'm just curious. Uh let me ask you a question, guys. Am I like speaking French or Yiddish or something or German? Like you do understand what I'm saying, right? Selective hearing. Um Kathy says, I'm trying to understand bonds and reading a lot about interest rate swaps, hedge funds getting margin calls, and Fed not bailing them out. This reminds me of subprime mortgage mess. What do you think about this? Kathy, you should stop reading all that stuff. It's a bunch of nonsense and it's bad for you. You should just listen to what I'm telling you here. I promise you, I will not miss a thing. I promise you. I promise you. I will not miss a thing. If you think I'm going to miss something, I don't think so. Hurricane. Let me ask you guys a question. Milan, do you go outdoors when somebody tells you there's a hurricane four out there? Are you one of those guys that says maybe I should take a drive down to the city center and take a couple of pictures? Are you one of those guys? Oh, I'm very calm right now. Yeah, I'm actually pretty calm. I'm joking around. I don't know if you guys know my exactly Milan. There you go. That's the ticket. I'm very chill right now. Try it. I'm chilling. All right. Yeah, exactly. Make sure the batteries and the generator are working. That's exactly right. That's actually very good advice. So until we see the VIX drop to 30 or lower, no soup for us. All right. The number of days that VIX is over 40 can be counted on two hands. David, I think it'd be counted on maybe even one hand, you know? Yes, time to prepare, not to go ballistic.
Actually, at the almost at the low day on the VIX.
Yep. I see it. I have it on me on the screen right now. Look, man, it's right there. Which is good, but look at the range. And again, look at where we're at, 41, 43. I don't like that. I don't like that. Makes me nervous. Let's look at bond market. We're still below yesterday's low. And we're definitely below when Trump made that announcement, which was right here. So this is very, very bad. Yeah, Don, that's right. That's right. And Don, I'm not going to lie to you just for the sake of giving people trades. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Scale in VIX goes to. Yeah, I'm not going to give you guys some nonsense. I'm not going to tell you things just because you want to. I'm not going to do any of that. Yeah. Yeah. There's actually, I told you about it. There's a psychological thing. I posted it in the Telegram channel today. There's a psychological thing where people, when things go not perfect, people have a need to do things. Please don't do things. Just chill. Thank you, Kanaka. Thank you. Okay. So I wanted to teach you guys something today, and I think this will be very, very helpful to you. By the way, for the record, in case you're curious about stocks right now, I just want to show you something. These are the stocks on my long list. Gold, another gold, another gold, another gold, another gold, not a gold stock, finally. Very gappy. Not a gold stock. I don't even know what this is. So that's 50-day high. Let's do 52-week high. Gold, gold. Don't know what this is and don't care. Gold, gold. Gappy stock. So, do you guys see all the magnificent choices that my scanners are giving me? The same scanners I've been using for 30 years. Do you see all the amazing scanners that do we take this gold stock or do we take this gold stock? Or maybe we should take all three gold stocks. Gold. Not gold. I'll have to look at this. Gold again. And I mentioned this one this morning, actually, in the morning call. Let me add it again on my watch list here. Now, I got a couple of others, but if you're excited about going long, Milan, uh, where do you go? Where do you go? What do you do? How do you play this? Yeah, James, I answered your question this morning. I spent about 15 minutes talking about it because gold is leading. That's why. James, go to my YouTube channel and watch the video. And I give a detailed explanation about gold this morning. Did everybody else see it? You guys see it this morning? Good. All right. So if you haven't seen it, James, I answer that question in great detail. I go over technical key technical levels. So, all right. So 90-day high. So now I'm still going to get a people asking me, Roger, should we be going long? Do you guys understand what my scanner? Now I'm not giving you stocks from my scanner. I'm showing you my entire scanner. Gold, 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 and one that's not gold. That's my long list for you guys. Now there are some good ones, and I'll give them to you in a minute that I'm starting to look at. But these are all the long stocks on my scanner. So our choices are there is nothing to trade to the long side. My scanners are very good at picking up the stocks to trade. Michael, I already explained all of it this morning. You're just all you're doing is telling me you haven't been watching my morning video. All right. So if is anybody here going to ask me, should we be going long right now? Michael, I gave the answer this morning. Does anybody know? Does anybody? Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's two thank yous. Can I get another thank you? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can you all read between the lines? Good. Good. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. Thank you, Elizabeth. Yes. 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 If you want a bunch of gold stocks, then go for it. Okay, so we're done with that. Now let's talk about the short side, okay? The short side still looks attractive. Straddle, Dave, excuse me, Dave. I'd love a straddle. I tried to find three straddles yesterday. They were all three times as expensive as they should have been. I wanted to do a straddle. I do, and I think it's a great time to do a straddle. Why? Think about this. We don't know where things are going to go, and we have a lot of volatility. It's a perfect time for a straddle. It really is. I'm not being sarcastic. It really is a great time. Everywhere I look, Dave, everywhere I go, these damn straddles, the straddles that should cost $2 are $8. Straddles that should cost $4 are $15. It's crazy out there. And let me tell you something else, Dave. The spreads on these the spreads on these he's not talking in 30 minutes, Sean. I specifically said he's not talking. White House is talking, but he's not talking. Options are costing a premium, Chris. Not only are they costing a premium, what Penny said this morning, if you listen to her, the spreads are very wide. It's very hard to get in and out of these suckers. Okay? Very, very, very hard to get out of these suckers. So you're kind of putting yourself in a pickle right now. You really have to be right. You really have to be right. Yeah, the market's waiting for something. The waiting for folks. I'm going to teach you something very important right now. Sometimes, okay, you know, with people, how I tell you markets are like people. You can kind of read them like you can the markets. Like you can read the markets. If you're good at people reading, you can read the markets just as well. Well, you know how sometimes, especially with people who are passive aggressive, you know how you can read them even when they don't say anything. Well, markets are really, really good about that. They're really, really good about it. So sometimes it's not what the information the market's giving you, it's the information that the market should be giving you, but it's not giving you. Like, and it's what I said earlier today. I said the market isn't, this is not normal. Volatility is not really going down. When I say not going down, I mean it's still around 40. It's not like, draw, it's not imploding. But at the same time, we're not going anywhere. So the market feels like it's so you gotta sometimes look at the market and you gotta say, okay, what am I getting from the market? And it's sometimes not what the market's telling you, it's what the market's not telling you. And I've learned that over, by the way, that's something I learned only in the last 10 years. That's not something I learned. That was something very subtle. But it's true. It's also very, very true. if you're getting all these report, if the market and the data are not communicating, then the market is holding out. There's absolutely no reason for VIX to be at 40 right now if the market is just not doing anything. Right, Matt?
Right.
That's not normal. That's not even close to being normal. Um, Murray, you cracked me up. I'm well, Art. Thank you for asking. So again, I don't know what the market is waiting for, but the market is waiting for something, and it's not something that is announced. The market is waiting for something right now. The market is clearly waiting, and it's telling us that right now. So again, it's sometimes it's not the information, sometimes it's the lack of information. Okay, I think market is waiting for them to announce at least one deal. I don't know, Adam. I don't know. Yes, well, the VIX is already up pretty high. It's not that it really has to move, but folks, that is a very important. And I said that earlier today. Sometimes it's not what the market is telling us. It's sometimes it's what the market is not telling us. So, all right. So you guys saw there's no stocks on our up list from our scanner. Well, I don't always rely on my scanner, right? I have eyes too. So let me show you a few stocks that I like to the upside. Excuse me. I wouldn't be buying these stocks right now. I wouldn't be buying these stocks, but I would be putting them on my watch list. Groupon, what pattern does this what pattern does this remind you of? Let's see how smart you guys are. I always have a stock up my sleeve, Chris. Always. I got actually a couple. What pattern does this remind you of? A-line. Yes, CJ, A-line. A-line, yes. Trump envoy meeting with Putin? Oy vey. We need more, we need more drama, right? Dave, we'll have those up in a minute. A-line. It's an A-line. It's an A-line. Now, look how wiki it is. Look how wiki it is. That's not a good sign for day trading, but it is an A-line. Would I be buying this right now? Probably not. Probably not. I'm very cautious. But if I do want to put in an A-line, this would be one of my top choices to the upside. Let's just see. Let's take a quick look at the options. Look at this. In the money options are like $3 for an $18 stock. That's pricey. That's pricey. Yeah, that's true, Murray, too. Yeah, I passed too. It's pretty pricey. Very, very expensive. That's my point. That's what I've been trying to tell you guys for the last few days. Verizon. Now, this is not an A plus chart, folks. Not even close. But I'll tell you what I like about it. The stock has been holding on much better than most other stocks. And same thing with Rakesh. No, I don't because of the market, because of the overall market. The market. I'm nervous. We have VIX at 41.24 right now. Rakesh, let's say you have a supermarket that's 2 blocks from your house, right? And I say to you, hey, let's go to the market and let's get some good beer or good wine for the weekend. You'd be like, yeah, let's do it. You wouldn't even think twice, right? But what if it was a Hurricane 4 outside? Hey, let's go to the market and get a couple of beers. You'd be like, are you insane? Do you want to get swept away in this? Do you have a life raft? That's the situation I'm trying to get you guys to understand. Just want to make sure you understand. That's all. Yeah, I know Gramster. I know Gramster recommended T-Mobile a few days ago. Let me take a quick look at it. He and I were arguing about this. Uh, Category 3, maybe. Category 4, no soup. So I like these telecommunication stocks. I do. I do. But I'm not in love with them. So do I like Verizon and T-Mobile? I do. First of all, I don't like these charts. Here it looks good, but I don't like this chart. It's very sloppy. The volatility's too high. But if the market starts moving higher, this is going to be one of my first choices right now because I like how it's behaving today. There's definitely buying coming in. It's above all the key levels, and we got up to right here, about 46. But again, let look how expensive is this? Not too bad. Not that great. $43 stock, 260. Get this probably for about 270. Again, this should cost probably 160. Yeah, I think people understand hurricanes. You know, like everything, your house is fine, but there's a hurricane outside. Be careful. Be careful right now. Like, look at the daily chart. Look at where we're at. We're not even above yesterday's high. Folks, we're not done with this thing. Like, let's say we were here. Oh, okay. VIX is at 20. We're up here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We got some support here. We're in the middle of nowhere, man. We're like in the middle of Gilligan's Island. You remember the intro to Gilligan's Island? Every time you want to put a trade on, I want you to think about the intro to Gilligan's Island. How about that, Murray? Right? I loved that was my one of my favorite shows growing up, Gilligan's Island. Anyway, another one, NOC. NOC. I like this stock. I gave it this morning, by the way. This is my last stock on my watch list. The fact that it's up right now is also a big concern. I don't remember Skipper's real name. Jonas Gamby. Okay. All right. Yeah, everything's improving. Everything is improving. We're breaking out above our levels. Everything's improving. But again, we got to really move here. Second. See what this thing is doing. Everything's giving me everything's giving me trouble today. Go past, the market makers are playing call expiration. That's right. I don't know, but it's a military stock, and it's a military stock, and it's up. Not great. Also, we got a lot of resistance right here, which is about 539. So be careful, be careful, be careful. Okay. And premiums on these things are very crazy right now. Roy Hinckley. I met the professor, Murray. I met the professor about 15 years, no, more 15, 20 years ago. I met him. He lived outside of a property that I almost bought. Actually, I did buy it and I sold it. Anyway, that's the long side. Let me give you the short side. Let me give you guys the short side. All right. Right. Give you the short side. Elf. Look at the daily. Look at the intraday. It's a nice looking, gotcha. Nice looking chart. Let's look at puts. Huh. You seem to be a fan of Gilligan's Island. What a great show. 28 days out. Oh man, these options are expensive.
We're right at the 8-day EMA right now.
Yep. Yep. Let's see if we can get above it. Woo, spready too. Very spready. Very spready. Well, it is what it is. Not right now, but this is definitely a nice short. Yeah, VIX is going lower because the SPY's breaking out, which is great. But again, VIX has to get below 30. All right. Next one, Shopify. Not right now. It's above the VWAP. It's got to get below this level. So not yet. I have a area drawn on it. Reddit. It's not bad. Again, I'd like to see it break down here, about below 95.78. Oh, we got expensive rascal. We'll have to do a spread here. Go ahead and buy the 105 and sell the 103. Do it for $1 if we break down right here below this level. And CLH. Think it's going to cool off if the market cools off. Be careful, folks. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. You got a good stop loss right here, about 1882. 21 days to go. 72 delta. 19. Look how expensive this thing is. $3 for a night. Oh, that's insane. That's crazy, right? Market's showing a nice run up right now. I like that. I like that. Very nice. We're almost at yesterday's high. The level we need to break is 533.71. 533.71. Okay. Be careful. We're having a rally on Friday at 12 before a weekend where we can have trade news. I'm just giving you perspective, okay? Just giving you some, hey Frosty B, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, Val? Always good to see Frosty Bastard here. All right. Good, 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 good. So swing trades are not a good idea. That's what I've been saying for the last 3 weeks, Chris. It feels like a bull trap to me, but remember, there's no volume behind this. There may be some news coming. The market was waiting. Volatility's coming down. Hard to say right now, but I would not be trusting these moves. I would not be trusting anything right now in the market. Ah, I got you, Chris. I got you. Yes, definitely not a good place. It's not a good time for swing trades. VFC, we're above the VWAP, so not right now. But overall, we broke the low here yesterday. And don't overreact. Oh, by the way, I want to ask you guys a question. I had an email exchanged with one of my students today. I want to ask you guys a question. We all know that the SPY. I want to see if you guys can answer this question. I want to see maybe it's something I need to talk about, or maybe it's kind of obvious. But let's say that volatility on the SPY doubled. Okay, you're not trading the SPY, but volatility on SPY doubled. Okay, are you going to use wider stop losses, or are you going to use narrower stop losses on your stocks? Volatility has increased substantially. Okay, good. I didn't think I had. Who said narrower? Who's the wise guy here? Cyrus, you would put narrower stop loss? Really? Why? The market's now doing this. All stocks are going to be doing this. Why would you put a tighter stop loss? It makes tell me why. I want to understand. You're going to get stopped out prematurely if it's narrower. Exactly, Sam. Fast. I don't think you're not hearing me right, Cyrus. The trade is not. You're not getting out of any profit. Stop thinking about profits. So listen to me, folks. Listen to me. Yes, Pat, I do, and I explained it yesterday in great detail, 3 different ways in my video that I did yesterday at noon. Please go to my Roger Scott channel, go to the live tab, and look at yesterday's video. Uh, and I spent about half an hour talking about 3 or 4 different ways to see if options are expensive. Yes, I did. I did. So, Cyrus, forget about your profit. There is no profit. You are in a trade. The trade is not going your way. It's just sitting there. You're at break even at best, okay? The SPY, you're in a stock, ABC stock. Your volatility in the SPY just doubled. Are you going to keep your stop loss in the stock the same? Mental stop loss. Okay, good. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, Cyrus. So I had one guy, and I thought this guy knew what he was talking about. And he's like, I'm going to make my, when volatility gets wide, I tighten my stops. I'm like, why would you do that? You know what his answer was? Because my P&L is going beyond a certain level. What do I always teach you guys? Don't trade your P&L. So don't trade your P&L. Don't trade your P&L and make sure that your mental stop loss, you're not using a physical stop loss. Make sure your mental stop loss is in accordance with what the SPY is doing. Because remember, you're using the SPY as a proxy. You're not trading, you're not really trading the stock. You're just using the stock as a proxy for the SPY. Okay. Just want to make sure you guys all understand that. Yeah, I don't use physical stops either. But my point is, if the market is really volatile, you have to give your stock more room to breathe. Let's say there's low liquidity in the SPY and your stock has lower liquidity. Is that okay? Yeah, it is. Well, your stock is not going to get more liquid if the SPY is less liquid. My point is, your decisions on individual stocks have to reflect what the SPY is doing at any given time. Capiche? If volatility on the SPY gets wide, your volatility on the stock gets wide. If your volatility on the SPY gets lower, then your volatility on the stock will get lower. Point is, you can't trade your stocks in a vacuum. If you do that, then you're not really trading the market. You're kind of like trading your own little world. So I want to make sure you guys understand that. I want to make sure you guys understand that because somebody who I exchanged emails with, they didn't understand that. And it was very frustrating. So, all right, let me continue. T-Doc. Look how weak the stock is. Yes, it's strong right now, but look at how weak the stock is. Okay. Stop loss right here, about 826, about 21 days out. Look at this. It's a dollar. Jesus Christ. A $8 put is going for a dollar 20. This is insane. That's insane. That's insane. Siri. I use this every day. 21.98. 73 delta. 22 right here. Yeah, it's going to cost you if you want to trade right now. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. So be very, 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 very cautious. Very, very cautious because we can get our face ripped off from us right now with a rally, or it can go the other way around. Okay. So what did we learn today? We learned that volatility is relative. We learned that if VIX just stays there at above 40 and doesn't go anywhere, it means the market's waiting for something. We also learned that sometimes the market could be giving you information that is subtle and you have to infer, and it's not always what the market's doing. It's always sometimes it's what the market is not doing that you need to pay attention to. All right. We also learned the importance of watching the bond market, right? And we learned that options are extremely overexpensive and that you should probably keep your paws out of the cookie jar for now. All right. You have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Have a nice Sunday. Thank you, Adam. You too. And do I have any questions? Going once, going twice? Watching bond market is a must. Do I have any questions before I conclude? You too, Richard. You too. You too, Frosty B. All right. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Milan, before you ask a girl how to marry you, make sure she speaks English and make sure she's a woman. Okay? Look at the SPY, look at volume, look at VIX, look at all of these things before you start looking at the stock. All right? Ciao.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Yeah, I didn't answer the question if it's a good time to buy Microsoft. I don't even know. I don't really care. Microsoft right now is the least of my worries. We need to worry about the market, folks, global economy, and pay attention to what stuff comes out of the White House over the weekend. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend. That was a good session, Matt. Real good session.